Now, completely changing our script, we're going to talk about a quick little resource that is technically new-ish to you all, most likely, but not new to the university. And it's called the SpEAK team. Yay! So the SpEAK team is an abbreviation which stands for Speech Expression Action Knowledge. That's a whirlwind. And it's a team that is present at free speech events that occur on campus in response to questions regarding the role of the university and being at the marketplace of ideas. So what I'm trying to say is basically every single club and org would like to host events, right? We want you all to host as many events as possible. And you all have different outcomes, right? Maybe you all want to advertise that the birds aren't real, right? Maybe you want to advertise that um, abortion should be legalized, or maybe you want to advertise a political candidate, right, to run for an election. That is okay, and that is your freedom of right. And you're more than welcome to host a tabling event, a info session event, whatever it is, as long as it goes to True Blue Connects, right? Um, and sometimes people are going to have different ideas than you. And that is totally okay because you're still allowed to bring these entities to campus because, again, we're the marketplace of ideas where individuals can bring folks that would like to either speak on behalf of their actual club or speak on behalf of the actual outcomes they're seeking for the club. So with that being said, the SpEAK team member is composed of individuals, so volunteer members, so faculty, staff, and grad students who support freedom of speech. They do not whatsoever represent the administration, any government group, or law enforcement. And the group's purpose is very simple, like it states in the actual website, on the website and on the slide, is to advocate for peaceful and safe opportunities for all members at NAU, of the NAU community to participate in civil discourse, right? We want to make sure that you're having a civil discourse or having a chat, that you're hearing people's opinions while also they are hearing yours as well and provide the same respect to each other. The SpEAK team technically attends lectures, marches, demonstrations, rallies, protests, as many as possible. And they identify themselves as a SpEAK member with their name tag on. So you might be seeing individuals that might be standing on the sidelines with the SpEAK team name tag. That's basically what it is. It's a faculty, staff, or grad student who is there to support the event in a neutral stance, right? So this is a tool or a resource, you could say, for your upcoming events that you might want to use in case that you predict that you might need some assistance from the SpEAK team group. And that could be either emphasized through a comment and True Blue Connects event request form that you submit for your event. These are some special websites. Again, you could specify that you need SpEAK present if possible at your event, depending on what the event is. The SpEAK team member will analyze whether or not their presence is required. But if it is perfect, we'll provide more context on that. But here are some important websites that I encourage you all to look and see. If you go to nau.edu/SpEAK, you will see the actual SpEAK team model and goals and outcomes, and obviously just the actual goals for them to actually be able to execute their duties as a SpEAK member. And something that another website that is very, very clear, and actually something that we all have learned recently, is the FIRE.org website, which is the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression website for all campus colleges. So if you want to learn more about what freedom of speech is on college campuses, you're more than welcome to learn more about it, not just through nau.edu/SpEAK, but also by going to the FIRE.org. That website gives you so many fundamental layers of freedom of speech on college campuses. So if your actual event requires some SpEAK presence, right, you will be contacted via email. Either the president of the organization will be contacted directly via email or the actual coordinator of the event. And with that being said, the team member will then be, the coordinator of the event will then be communicating like, hey, we're the SpEAK team. We were realizing that you were having this event and the SpEAK team members are going to be there. It's most likely going to be 2 to 3 SpEAK team members are going to be attending that event. And technically, the email will introduce them in there. Once the event is occurring, you will see that the SpEAK team members will try to identify the actual coordinator of the event, making sure that they see that they're being present at the event, and just want to make sure that they're on the sidelines, right? You might see them scatter around the actual event. You might see them in the corner just to make sure that the actual event is actually flowing nicely and there's no specific red flags of people fighting or physical altercations or anything like that. The team members from SpEAK, they maintain their neutral stance, right? That regardless of how incredible or graphic or rude or offensive the speaker or individual that is sharing a message is, the SpEAK team members are just going to be neutral and they're going to provide support when it is needed. If an individual or group begins to escalate, becomes very confrontational, the SpEAK team member will then attempt to de-escalate the situation as much as possible. But remember, they're not police officers, um, they're not law enforcement, nothing like that. They will be able to just provide some guidance and maybe help the individual kind of calm down to the sidelines or have a conversation with them individually. They're still able to actually be present at the event, but the SpEAK team members are just there to be able to just provide some type of relief and making sure that things are not getting escalated as much as possible. They'll try to provide some support to the actual event itself and to the individuals listening to the message or attending the event. If behaviors are getting too out of hand or they become confrontational or just too crazy, that's when team members or most likely either the coordinator of the event already has contacted NEUPD to make sure that NEUPD provides some guidance when this individual or individuals are being too reckless and are no longer following any policies on freedom of speech. Keep in mind that, like we previously mentioned, everybody has different opinions about different topics, and we want to respect everybody's ideals, values, outcomes, identities, and so on and so forth. Yes, sometimes we're going to have individuals who are not going to be to our like, and that's okay, right? We want to make sure that we're being inclusive, and even though might not agree with their stance on something, we want to make sure that we provide respect. So any community members, faculty, staff, students, um, anybody whatsoever, graduate students, whatever it is, you all have the option to either engage with this event or not engage, right? You could walk away. So keep that in mind. You have the right and authority to either stay and interact with them or just walk away and ignore. That's up to you. And please keep in mind that we might be asking a lot of questions. We might be asking things just to gather more information about the actual events because we want to make sure that we distinguish that any events happening at NAU are essential and they're vital for you all to continue to succeed and continue for us to market the marketplace of ideas. But remember that private institutions are very different than public institutions, right? Public institutions do have to file and follow specific regulations when it comes to ABOR in terms of regulations of public speaking. Versus private college/institutions, they have their own unique policies that either prevent specifically freedom of speech in general or limit certain things, certain speakers, certain events, and so on and so forth. Because we're federally funded and we're governed by the ABOR, we want to make sure that we are following and allowing every single individual to have some type of event, if possible, if that's what they want, to be able to provide their freedom of speech at these specific places. So just know that there are certain policies and regulations that we need to make sure that you all follow to make sure that you're not breaking any rules and cause any type of sanctions for the club. So this is just a great resource. Again, if you believe that you might have any tabling sessions, any events that might need SpEAK members, please let us know as soon as possible in your event request, and then we will be able to assess individually whether or not presence is needed. But other than that, again, this is a great resource for you all to moving forward. And I'll pass it on to Michelle.